So guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about some courses that if you have a chance, if you have the resources, please study them in Australia. You must not only study on self-funding. If you are opportune to get a scholarship, okay, apply for these courses, then go to the school website, also search for scholarships, because these courses are in high demand in Australia. Remember, this video is based on my research, and if you really want, you can do more research on your own, because like I said, it is based on my research. And these courses I'm going to be giving to you, they are not in any particular order, but you should however know that if you study any of these courses in Australia, you are liable to get a fast permanent residency after probably like 2 to 4 years of getting the work experience. Now, what you need to know is that when you find the courses, I'm going to give you the courses, okay? So relax and watch this video till the end, but do me one favor, like the video and share the video as well, because if you do, somebody can benefit from the information. So what you need to know is you need to find a school in Australia. Check the list of universities from Sydney to Melbourne to Brisbane to Victoria and everywhere, right? You apply for any of these courses. I'm going to give them to you, but let me explain something so you understand. Now, when you find these courses, the next thing you need to do is to apply to the school. Right, when you get admissions, probably it's going to be done by your agent, because most schools in Australia would only accept applications coming from agents. Now, when you get admissions, you move to Australia, you study. After you finish your program, you will now apply for a visa. They call it skilled visa, okay? It has a name. So you will apply for that visa. Depending on the course you study, you can be in Australia. You will be given a permit for 2 to 4 years to study, like to work in Australia, right? So it's like more of a PGWP, post-graduation work visa. So you will work in Australia. While working, there is something I want to draw your attention to. Please make sure you work and get work experience in the field you studied in school, so that when you are applying for permanent residency, it won't be difficult again for you. Now, because I am saying this because many people make this error. Some people work in maybe they study a different field, then they work and they get work experience in a different field. In this way, remember, work experience is needed, also age is needed. So when you go to apply for permanent residency, they will be looking at what did you get work experience in. So you need to put this into consideration. So after you've gathered the work experience, you can now apply for the 2 subclasses. There are 2 types of permanent residency you can apply for, but know that that is the pattern. Now remember, these courses I'm going to be giving to you, I have checked them based on the skilled occupation list. Okay, the skilled occupation list for Australia is simply the skills that are in high demand. You can equally check them yourself. Okay, the information is everywhere. So when you are checking these courses and making your plans to study them, there are so many things I want you to put into consideration. It is going to be based, that's your choice of course, is going to be based on the interest and your career goals. Now, why did I say it's going to be based on your interest and career goals? Let me elaborate here, because I notice many people, they don't actually understand these things. For example, if you just graduated from high school, then you are now looking to go study a bachelor's degree in Australia, you should first of all understand that bachelor's degree in Australia take minimum 3 years. Okay, so if you are looking to go study a bachelor's degree in Australia, that is understandable. Now you can select your course based on what you think you can study, looking at your high school result, right, from the skilled occupation list. You shouldn't then, in the case you already have a bachelor's degree, for example in nursing, then it doesn't make sense again if you want to go and take maybe a certificate course in maybe nursing, course in hospitality futility. The reason is because now you already have a bachelor's degree. Taking a certificate course means that you are moving backwards. But there are certain scenarios that can help you actually achieve this. And remember, when you are dropping the level, it will be difficult for you to get a study visa to Australia. Australia wants to be sure that what you are coming to do, you actually have a long-term plan. Okay, they don't just want you to look for ways to run into Australia. I hope you understand. So what I'm trying to say is, if you study maybe a bachelor's in nursing, then you should be looking at a course that relates to maybe a master's in nursing or master's in social work or things related to nursing, right? That one makes a lot of sense. If you did something in accountancy and you want to study a master's degree in accountancy in Australia, that is understandable. But when you do maybe a bachelor's program in engineering, then instead of you to go to a master's, you are now moving back to a certificate course which is going to last maybe 6 months, 1 year. It makes the visa officials suspicious, and of course the Australian government. In most cases, or let me say in few cases, you may defend this, and I would like you to always inform your agent, because most of the time, like I told you, most schools in Australia, they always work with agencies. So discuss with your agents, let them map out an outline for that while you are going back to a program, to the certificate program. You understand? Because I understand why so many people are doing this, because of course most certificate programs are usually cheaper than degree programs. Even in Canada, we can see all of that. When you check a certificate program in most colleges and look at some universities with that same program, you will see that the universities are usually expensive. So most international students, they run away from expensive courses. They choose those certificate programs where you need to be able, you need to be tactical, you need to show interest and passion in that particular course if you really want to get the visa to Australia. So interest and career goals should be part of your plan. Also, understand eligibility requirements also matters a lot. For example, let's say maybe you are 38 and you choose to study a course that is very long, like maybe medicine and dentistry. Probably is going to take like 4 years. Now 4 years to 38 years should be around 42, right? Now 42 years, you would have to work to get work experience, maybe for another close to 4 years. That will be maybe 46, 48. Now remember, Australia does not really like people. They like the young generation. What I mean here is, if you are younger in age, it will be easy to get PR in Australia. So you need to always consider the requirements of the course, look at their age and so many other factors. Now, the cost of the course also, you need to understand that Australia is pretty expensive. This is what I was telling my audience on Facebook. If you want to study in Australia, please look at your budget. It is not for the broke community. Courses in Australia run from like 14,000 to 20,000 Australian dollars per semester, which is only for 4 months, and you have to pay this money 2 times in 1 year. That's 2 semesters in 1 year. So you should expect to save at least 40,000 Australian dollars for a 1-year program. So the cost, you can already see that. And again, remember that when it comes to the duration, you also need to consider the duration of the course. Like I told you, most courses take 3 to 4 years, especially for BSc programs. So always choose these courses based on all these things, and also the location and of the university or the college. Now, if you want to choose a course like social work, personal support worker, you should be looking at remote regional areas, not remote, regional areas. Why did I say you should be looking at regional areas? Because these skills are more needed in those areas. Now, you should also understand that a part of, I think, Sydney, Melbourne, and there is other one, what's the name again? Other areas in Australia are regional areas. So if you are studying a course like social work, you should also be looking at the area of settlement, right? So with that said, we are going to be looking now at the courses you should study in Australia, and I will be giving you as follows. Now, the very first course you should take note of if you want to study in Australia, okay, that can easily ease your way to get you PR, is like it can easily make you get permanent residency, because it is in demand. It is a skill that is in demand. They need people like this who study such courses in Australia. Engineering people, if you are maybe applying for a bachelor's in civil engineering, you are going for maybe a bachelor's of engineering, that's software engineering, you are going for electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, excellent. These fields are in high demand in Australia. Then also, if you want to study something like nursing, of course, a lot of people, I think 3 people that left the United Kingdom to Australia, and trust me, the money in Australia is so powerful, and these people, they are paid very well, right? So if you have a way to, maybe if you have any of these skills, people who are doing things related to this, they have a high chance to relocate to Australia and probably get permanent residency. I hope you understand. And all these people I'm telling you, they are permanent residents already in Australia. So you should understand that these are some of the skills. If you want to study something like bachelor's in nursing, or you have something like graduate diploma of nursing, or maybe something like masters of nursing, excellent. You can easily get a job in Australia, and with this, it can also lead you to your permanent residency. Then if you want to study something like IT, information technology, then these are also people who are needed in Australia. If you have a way, or if you have the requirements, the resources and everything, study a course like Bachelor's of Information Technology, Computer Sciences, Bachelor's of Computer Sciences, Bachelor's of Software Engineering, Bachelor's of Data Science, Bachelor's of Cyber Security. These people are in high demand in Australia. So please, I'm just explaining all these things so that in case you are making the choice, you should understand that you stand a great chance to get a lot of things in Australia. Yeah, a lot of things here, I mean financially, because of course we all know that when most of us we study in these countries, we can't return because we are looking for a better opportunity, right? Financially or whatever, but a better opportunity. So the next group of courses you could study in Australia, or the next thing you should do, is accountancy. So accountants are also the next group of people who are paid very well in Australia. And now there is something you need to know. You shouldn't study physics and you decide to go study accounting. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay, if you study physics, go for something physics for masters. If you study accountancy, go for the next level, like for bachelor's, take masters in accountancy. Now also take note of bachelor's degree in accountancy, bachelor's in business finance, bachelor's in accounting, maybe commerce, and also people with professional accounting. These people are needed in Australia. So I'm just making you to understand some group of courses you should select. Then the other group of people I would mention of are medical people. That's, I'm talking about doctors, dentistries, and other medical professionals are also eligible for permanent residency in Australia. And also, like Canada, people with trade professions, you already know, for those of you who have been following my videos and equally looking at my content, I believe you already know that Canada is also selecting people for PR based on what we call trade occupations, right? So if you are a plumber, you are maybe a carpenter, you are a welder, you are a forklifter, something like that, you have a chance to move to Canada as a permanent resident. And Australia is also looking for people like this to give them permanent residency, like plumbers, electricians, carpenters, and also in high demand. Okay, so please just put all this into consideration. Then if you are in the hospitality area, like Australia's tourism industry is booming also. Okay, they are looking for people who can work as maybe chefs, cooks, and hotel managers. You are good to go. Then social work as well, like I already mentioned before, if you are doing something related to social work, it's also a good area for you to get PR in Australia. Then those who are doing veterinary sciences, okay, they also need you in Australia. These are some of the few things I think you should look at. Now, to those of you who studied some courses which are not really good, if you have a way, okay, you can switch the course. Now, but before switching the course in Australia, make sure you have some maybe internship opportunities in that area, so that when you're applying for your visa, you should tell the visa officer that, okay, I did this course in school, but now I want to do hospitality in Australia because I noticed that this is how it works. And trust me, before you know, you are going to get this. And if you study these courses, definitely you are going to get something, but it's going to be expensive. So please put all of this into consideration, and I wish to see you succeeding. I hope you enjoy this. Please, we are going to talk again in another one.